CampusProgress.org, Student Pergs, and USSA are here at the Center for American Progress, a liberal public policy group, educating students about grassroots activism. I spoke with some of the volunteers at the event about issues like the war in Iraq and Social Security. Here's the report. Barack Obama has said that he wants to pull out 16 months from Iraq, but in September, in a New Hampshire debate, he wouldn't go on the record when asked, would you take all the troops out by 2013? Do you think he's actually the true anti-war candidate in this election? Do you believe he would actually end the war?
I think it's always tough to tell. It's easy to say one thing and then do another. I think he has been the one who has spoken to it the most, and when you put your words out there and you say, I'm going to do something, then you have something for which people can hold you accountable for. So, I think by saying it, it's definitely a step towards that, definitely.
I personally believe that Obama's position has been consistent since the beginning. I actually used to volunteer for the campaign, so I'm very familiar with his talking points then and now. And it has been pretty consistent, and I think it's just a big kind of political, maneuver from the Republican Party, to try to find contradictions in what he's saying.
I think he's the unrealistic candidate. To me, originally he was saying that he was going to pull out the troops out starting in 60 days, and maybe you can pull some out, but to me, when someone compares McCain to the pro-war candidate or Obama to the anti-war candidate, to me it's totally off. McCain spent his entire, a huge part of his life fighting the war. He hates war. He's pro-national security and protecting the United States, but I think he also has a much more realistic approach to the war.
Some top congressional Democrats have called for possibly thinking about reinstituting the draft because people need to volunteer. There's some strains on the military for the war effort. Would you eventually support something like that?
I believe if we reinstituted a draft that we would no longer be in Iraq at all. So I don't think that would be a very likely outcome. If we did reinstitute a draft, then I'm not for war at all, but it would possibly be a means to an end. So.
No, I wouldn't be supportive of a military draft. I just don't feel that that's something that we want to be doing right now. I think we need to kind of step back and rehash things and figure out effective ways that we can deal with this without sending people, to put themselves in violent situations.
I think it's a good idea because there's many people that don't serve in the military and are reaping the benefits of the men and women that serve in our military, the ones that put their life on the line. And I think that we all have to share the burden. However, we are not in a time, I think that we are not in a time that we drastically need a draft. We have to keep on doing it on a voluntary basis where people signed up, increase the benefits, increase the incentive for people to join the military. But if it comes a time where everybody needs to serve, of course we need to institute a draft.
It's been reported that during a work year, the average American pays 25% of their income toward taxes. You think taxes are too high, or would you support more taxes to pay for plans like a universal health care plan that costs $65 billion, or different things like that, and the war? Not even either McCain or Obama. The war is going to cost a lot of money. Would you support higher taxes to pay those things?
I actually do support higher taxes. I think they're important to find more socialized medicine, for example, which I think is very important. Our taxes aren't as high as they are in other countries, so we should definitely look at that too.
The government has enough money. The government needs to be using it efficiently, and they're not. And taxes should be lowered. I believe that the American people are smart enough to know what to do with their own money.
So the federal government has reported that Social Security over the next 75 years is going to be $7 trillion, and they might not actually be able to cover that. So the system is broken. Would you support putting your money into a private retirement account or even opting out of the actual system?
I already do put my retirement money in a Roth IRA. I think it's a lot safer to use than Social Security. Unfortunately, you don't have a choice with Social Security, and I believe it was supposed to be a temporary measure during the Great Depression and also not supposed to support everyone's retirement income or the whole income. It was supposed to be a supplement, which a lot of people confuse nowadays for being just a government retirement fund, which isn't what it was supposed to be in the first place.
Personally, I think that I'm a Republican, I'm a conservative. I think that we should have the option of a free market type of system. I would like to have the option of having privatized Social Security. Whether I choose to partake in that would be another option I'm not sure about.
I'm Nicholas Balassi, CNSnews.com, Washington.